Patty Braun, County Director for Coconino Cooperative Extension. Our weed of the week this week is Scotch Thistle. We see a really large example of Scotch Thistle here. It's a native of Europe and Asia, and it's really large and robust, and it can take over areas such as this untended vacant lot or alongside trails, along roadways and meadows and in pastures. Can you imagine your favorite trail having many of these plants and having to hike through these large, sharp, spiny plants? One of the ways to identify Scotch thistle is by these large wings on the stem that have very sharp spines. It also has this powdery gray-green foliage. There are lots of leaf hairs on there, and that's why it's really drought tolerant. This area hasn't received any rain at all, yet these plants are over 4 feet tall. We can see an example of this plant just beginning to go to flower by this purplish flower right here. It has dozens and dozens of flowers on here that will mature in about a month. This plant is capable of producing over 40,000 seeds. We do have native thistles in Arizona, and we want to make sure that we don't confuse our native thistles with Scotch thistle. Our native thistles are a lot smaller than this, they're less robust, and they don't have these giant spines along the stem. This is a difficult plant to control. It is a biennial, so it starts out as a rosette. That rosette starts growing the first year, and the second year it produces these stems that have the flowers. Scotch thistle reproduces by seed, so the key to controlling Scotch thistle is to make sure you don't let it go to seed. You can control it by cutting off these seed heads, but if you cut off this one that's beginning to flower and leave it on the ground, it's possible that those seeds can still mature, so you need to bag up all those seeds. You do have to revisit the plant, because if you cut off all the seed heads, it still might put out flowers a little bit later on in the season. You can also hand dig this plant, but it's much easier to dig the rosette than it would be this tall, massive plant. And you can also mow it, but again, with mowing, you have to keep revisiting the site to make sure it's not producing seed on a smaller plant. Sometimes the best method to control this is a chemical application. For more information about Scotch thistle and other invasive plants in northern Arizona, visit our website, nazinvasiveplants.org, or go to the Coconino County Cooperative Extension website.